Okay, so I keep forgetting to. I basically just wasted an hour of my day because I kept forgetting to mention stuff. I went back to it, then I remembered when I was going through everything again because I was gonna do like, oh, it's like, you know what? Let's do it again. Let's just do it like this time I'll do it like quicker, and then next time I will do it like longer. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to show all the books first. I'm going to go over who is the right. No, I'm not even gonna do that. Because even then, you guys aren't gonna. But my point is, I'm gonna like a 2 minute like. Even then, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I said I was going to do it, so I'm gonna do it. But basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over for the first time. I'm just gonna go over what the books are, and then I'll go over who write that another time who writes it, show off the artwork, then the artist too, and then I'll go over. Additionally, for some of these, not all of them, if anyone gave it a blip, like not IGN. IGN don't count. I guess it's IGN, but I mean like actual people. It's perfect way of saying it. Undiscovered Country Volume 4, like something like that. Glitterbomb Volumes 1 and 2. Just quick show off. So you guys just want to know what the books are? Here you go. The Gravediggers Union Volumes 1 and 2. It's complete May haul. So nope, not May. Already failing. Complete April haul. I have May on the mind. May is my birthday month. So I have that on the mind. The Humans Volume. So it's a complete April haul for this month. All I'll say was this month. The Humans Volumes 1 and 2. I was doing like half and half, so I wanted to make sure that everything was showing off. The Humans Volumes 1 and 2. Violent Love Volumes 1 and 2. I'll do it this way. 5 Ghosts Volume 1, 2, and 3. This way, those of you who don't care who writes it, well, how would you not care? If you're going by, those guys go to Volume 1 and 2 of Renato Jones. Technically, seasons 1 and 2, but it's volumes, so it's not like a TV show. Oh, can't do that. God Complex, I said it so weird. I didn't say it like that. God Complex Dogma Volume 1. I think it's like a weird kind of cover for Renato Jones. It's going to show you what was so weird about it, but I'm just going with what the books are for right now. This cut, or not this cut, this Redlands Volume 1 and 2. At first, I meant to say. Empty Zone Volumes 1 and 2. Invisible Republic Volume 1, 2, and 3. That is all the books I got this month. Now, if you want to stick around for me going over a whole bunch of more and more in-depth overviews, stick around. Those of you who just want to see what I got, cool, awesome. I don't mean to say it so pessimistically. Some of you guys don't have time. I get it, but there you go. So those guys who have about however long it's gonna be, I'm trying to make it an hour. I'll make it an hour. Those of you guys who have that much time to spare, and otherwise, always want to see it, then here we go. I talk too fast, apparently. I don't think I stutter because I talk too fast. I think I stutter because I'm, like, trying to say... It's almost like I'm squeezing 2 sentences into one, and my brain just can't do that. Like, it's kind of like if you were to, for an AI, or for Siri, you do, like, a text that has a lot... She's not going to do all that at once. She's not going to be able to process that. So it's kind of how my brain works, I guess, like that. You know, when you like try to read a text and she goes like, and she can't do like, some just do letters. It's really weird. They go like A, B, C, D, and it's like you have it, unless you have it spaced. So they'll say like, Undiscovered Country if you have it, together. You guys know what I'm saying, but I feel I need to over-explain. Undiscovered Country Volume 4, Disunity, collecting 19 to 24 of Undiscovered Country, and then the Destiny Man one-shot. Now, I'm not going to show again the condition of the first book. I guess I could. No, I'm going to do it. I still have it. So I got this book twice. The first time it was a pre-order too, which is even better. I love getting pre-order the day it comes in, and then there's a small blemish with the first time. For the first book I got. So it really shows here. Now, it is a very, 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 very small tear. Does not even show on the artwork itself. Technically, it does. There's one where there's a part of the book where there's no border, so to speak, like right here. I'm trying to say what I mean. I have the book. I'm not doing it. I don't know. First page. Now, there's no tear on the actual cover, so it does technically show here in the art in place of the artwork. We have to like zoom in. Now, I just decided it was a new book too. It just came out that day from Amazon. You know, you got it a week earlier if you were lucky enough to go to the comic shop or a third-party seller, whatever that was. That's not Amazon, or online retailer. That's not Amazon. Yes. All right. So I'm going over the artwork again. What the tear? So yeah, that was just me going over. I know that well, actually, technically, I did not. So you shouldn't be confused. You shouldn't be like, oh, you got two. Yes, technically, I do. It's one more book than I got. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be returning it, so no. That's not how you do that. There you go. Undiscovered country. Oh, sorry. Scott Snyder, Charles Soule, and Giuseppe Camicoli. Those the artworks. It's written by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule, and the artwork is done by Giuseppe Camicoli. Now, this book is finding a cure for a pandemic, and I guess they go into this like, not like cordoned off area, but it's kind of like a bad area to find it. It's kind of like that from what I remember, and it was finding a cure for the pandemic. Now, this book took me a lot to get into, and I would suggest those of you who are skeptical to purchase this entire series, issue 1 is available for free on the Kindle or Comixology or whatever, digitally. I would suggest you guys do that, and then if you like it the first time you read it, awesome, get all 4 volumes. That's what I would say. Now, if you read it and you're like, I'm a big fan of Scott Snyder, but this book I didn't really like, I thought it was just okay, then I would say give it about 3 months, a few months, or however long it takes you to reread a book, and then if you like it better then, because my point is that this book's took me a lot to get into, and that's, even for me, like, sometimes I can read a book only twice, and I can get, like, into it, and I like a lot better than the first time. A good example for that is not Low, because Low, I read, like, a bunch of times. The American Way. Yeah, The American Way by John Ridley. I read that the first time, I hated it. Read it the second time, I liked it a lot better. And it was a long time, too. I think it was like a few years, actually. So, that's a good example there. And Low was a pretty good example, too, but that was like 5 times I read it, but the 5th time I read it, I liked it so much that I bought it myself. And I got it, I still have the Dogs for Dogs, I still have it. The deluxe editions. I don't know why I say I still have it. Obviously, I still have it. I now have it, I'm just saying, I guess. I got like a year ago, I guess. I say guess twice. So yeah, that's what Undiscovered Country is about. I went over who writes it, who was the artist. Now, I'm not going to go over all of these names. Matt Wilson is the colorist, I believe, but that's about it. That's not about it, but, like, there's so many names, it's just kind of like, no, I'm not going to do that. You guys can look it up yourself, and decide who does it. But it's one of those things where, because, yeah, let's see exactly what it says. I'm gonna read it to myself, not out loud. Oh, Leo's finishes by. Okay, I see. Next up, we have Glitterbomb Volume 1, the red carpet, collecting 1 through 4 of Glitterbomb, and then Glitterbomb Volume 2, the Fame game, collecting 1 through 4 of Glitterbomb. It's 4. Did I say 4 issues for this? My first 4? I'm pretty sure I did. I just feel like I didn't say it. But yeah, 4 issues per volume. Now, I'm kind of a quantity over quality guy. I definitely am a quantity over quality guy. Now, not like as bad as I used to be. Back then, I would just get a book. I wouldn't even care who it was by. I did go by, like, for the most part, I went over, like, it was Spider-Man. Like, I'd find a Spider-Man book for $1.99, and then let's say I found 10 Spider-Man books for $1.99 each. And let's say it was a series that wasn't terrible, but it's not great either. I would rather get those, all 10 of those, than one omnibus of Spider-Man by Stan Lee. Back then, I would do that rather than I actually would be happier doing that than getting the omnibus that, let's say, went out of print the next day. So let's talk on everywhere. Let's say that. And then, but nowadays it's more, I decide to get 10 books of the same series rather than the hardcover, which is also out and is a pretty thick hardcover, and it's oversized artwork and everything, like that. Oversized artwork, like a deluxe edition. I'd rather get the 10 volumes of the series. Another good example is if I can get more for my money than, like, more books, but I get it from, like, third-party sellers and at less, and used, too. That's probably going to end up with my birthday. But I may say to not do that. Some of them are like, they may be highlighting in the book, and like, I really want a book that has highlighting in it. No, I don't. And writing, and one's used good. That's a good example. And there's other books I want. There's one set of books. I'm just going to say it. One set of books, the other set of books, not the used section, is my Jonathan Hickman selection. I can get all the Jonathan Hickman books that he did for Image. That's readily available. It's available on Prime. Some are out of print, unfortunately. I'll get those digitally. And all of them, only a few of them are used. So it's used like new. And used like new, I will do just fine. I know that means that it's basically new condition. If anything, it's a better condition on Amazon. Because none of them that I've gotten used like new have been like this. See that tear right there? This is not used. This is new, according to Amazon's website. So, I'm trying to get over that quantity over quality. Because my quantity over quality is, like, part of my brain, I guess you could say, part of me, said, only 4 issues? Why are we getting this book? Why not get that book? I was completely ignoring the fact that I really like Jim Zub's writing. And this book seemed to be somewhat similar to Wayward. It was a lot of when I was looking up what it was about that screamed Wayward to me. And Wayward, ironically enough, is another Jim Zub Image comic. So this book is about Farah Durante, I think is the name. Durante? Here's the name. And she is a middle-aged actress looking for work in Hollywood. And, Hollywood's terrible, so it's like she has a lot of, there's a lot of conflict with that. And there's also, like, something lurking beneath the water, or lurking beneath the shadows behind the shadows or whatever, that, feeds on, like, your fears and, like, your, and, like, the bad, and, like, the, it feeds on, wants to take revenge on the shallow, celebrity-obsessed culture that's led her astray. So, kind of like that, like, the part of her, I guess, you could say. So it's kind of a horror comic. It sounds very interesting to me, and I decided to pick it up. Now, and again, another thing about that I was telling you about, some of them that I want for my birthday to use, like, new, yada, 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 they're not all terrible books. No. Far from it. They're just a good amount of them are books by authors that I don't like as much as Jonathan Hickman. Of course, I'm going to be kind of annoyed that I get the Hickman books is all well, and I'm kind of like, well, I'm like, that's another thing too. Like, I'll get like a bunch of sci-fi books, and I'll be like, a good example is fantasy. When I got that huge fantasy lot from in Christmas time, it was kind of one of those things where I just want to get fantasy books, and everything else I was like, yeah, especially as superheroes. So I was like, yeah, I still like it, but it's kind of like I'd rather. It's weird. Like in books that I owned, I was kind of like, of course, I still like that I bought them and everything like that, but I was like, oh, it's not fantasy. I don't like this as much as this, and it's kind of that weird feeling I had. I still have that feeling. But the Hickman books, the books I didn't get, because some of them are by authors I have. It was finishing off like my collection of this from this author. So when I see that, I'm gonna be like, even though none of them were like series. Like the series, none of them was like, oh, well, volumes 2 through 8 of this series that I have. No, it's so happened to be that same author. And I don't know why I feel I need to do this. Like, Glitterbomb just sounded interesting to me, and Glitterbomb actually got good reviews from someone on Goodreads, who's a very tough critic called Sam Quixote. He liked that book a lot, and I was like, it's even a better reason for me to get this book. And yeah, okay, it was also trying to finish off my Jim Zub collection, other than Wayward. Because Wayward, all 5 volumes they have in my library, so yeah, they are. But anyways, so yeah, I did that. And show the artwork. I'm going to do it again. Here are all the names first and foremost, because a lot of them are hard to pronounce. Now I can't see, so yeah, I can't see. Cannot see a single thing. It was completely covering my me. So hopefully you guys can see it just fine. Oh, and artwork. So yeah, I already almost forgot to do that. mean, it just depends on what I get for my birthday. I'm probably gonna stick to my guns and get the Hickman stuff, because again, it's one of those things where the main thing about set A is quantity over quality. So it's a lot more books than for the Hickman books, and the reason for why I'm even more skeptical to go to part A, or to go to set A, is because I'm not gonna be seeing everyone on my birthday. So it's one of those things where like, well, will I see them in June? Do I still count it as my May haul? Because I do have an exception where I say, well, if I ordered it in May and it comes in June, it still counts as a May book because I ordered it in May. You know, and another thing about set A is a lot of authors that no one else likes, but I like, and so I'm kind of like saying like, well, I don't have to always go by what these people say, and it's like, and a lot of them some of them are new authors too, so I'm like, oh well, like, it's very complicated. I think I just go to set B and then still feel the same way I would no matter what. And if I got set A, you know, and then set B, and I think the main reason again is a lot of them are used, and I kind of am skeptical to get even used very good. I'm skeptical to purchase that and see what condition that comes in, because what there is a lot of writing in the book. Yeah, it doesn't affect the book, but there's a lot of writing in the book. You know, it's like basically I'm paying for a library book. Glitterbomb Volume 2, the Fame game, collecting 1 through 4 of the Fame game. Again, by the same creative team that just showed off. Jim celebrates it, but I cannot go over can't tell you who the artist was. Alright. Gravediggers Union Volume 1 by Wes Craig and written by Wes Craig with artwork by Toby Cypress. I think what I'm going to do is there's also a Joe Casey set I want to get. Because a lot of the books are books that I wanted for a long time. And I like Joe Casey. And then there's the Rick Remender collection too I want to finish off. Like, so much of like... What do I get? I think what I should do is I should take off set A. Set A I should just completely take off and not get and make a rule to myself that I'm not gonna get anything below used like new. And you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say that it's the only reason why I'm not getting set A. Not because I don't want the books. I still want the books, but I'm not gonna pay for used like new. I'm only gonna pay for used like new. I'm not gonna pay for used good and very good. So I'm the kind of guy that gets mad about that. That's a little blemish for Glitterbomb. It's like a little, not even gonna affect the reading of the book. You know, I'm gonna read it just fine without even noticing it. Gravediggers. In fact, when I first got the book, I didn't notice it at all. Gravediggers Union Volume 2 collects 6 through 9 of Gravediggers Union. Volume 1 obviously is 1 through 5. Now, Gravediggers Union is a horror comic. I think it was zombies too, and the artwork, as you could tell, I could tell. I wonder if you guys could tell. It was very reminiscent of Mike Mignola, and right here too, very very reminiscent of Mike Mignola to me, at least. And he's the king of horror comics, at least in my opinion. Next up, we have the Humans Volume. I'm good. The Humans Volume 1, Humans for Life, because I thought I hadn't gone over what Volume 1 was called. Obviously, Gravediggers Union was just called Volume 1 and Volume 2, but for Glitterbomb and Undiscovered Country, I was like, did I do that? Did I go over it was Volume 4, Disunity, and for Glitterbomb, yada yada? I did. I was happy to... So, okay. Alright, the Humans Volume 1, Humans for Life, collecting 0 through 4 of the Humans. By Keenan Marshall Keller with artwork by Tom Neely. But they show Tom Neely first. They always seem to do author then artists first. Just in general. They never really do artist then author. So there's the artwork. You can tell it's black and white that's issue 0. At least I believe it is. It kind of has to be. Why would they do issue 3 before issue 1? What was it? What is that? What is this? Lobster Johnson Omnibus? That still makes me mad, by the way, when they decided to do volumes 2 through 4 for volume 1. But volume 2 is coming out pretty soon here. Actually in August. I might break my only getting Image Comics, so I'm getting a trade or hardcover. I'm gonna get that in August. That's August though, so you never know what's gonna happen. So it was ironically enough that I got in the Humans when I did, because I'm currently reading the Planet of the Apes omnibus from Boom Studios. So it's just, and this is Image Comics is his answer to Planet of the Apes. everyone that was reviewing this comic said that it was a lot like Planet of the Apes. It was basically Planet of the Apes. It's the 70s too. It's a 70s exploitation comic. Actually, ironically enough, one of the genres they show off right here in the back. They say is exploitation, one of the genres. It's exploitation that they have in the back here. The Humans, Volume 2, Humans Till Death. I spelled death, D-E-T-H, because that's a cool way to spell it. Collects 5 through 10 of the Humans. I bet I can interrupt it. If I get interrupted, I'm going to be so angry. Alright, so next up we have Violent Love, Volume 1, Stay Dangerous, right? Yep. By Frank J. Barbiere with artwork by Victor Santos. And the first page is I'll do the first page. It just there's not a whole lot of artwork. A lot of it's taken up by the sunset, but it's still artwork. Now, you know what I'm gonna do here too. I did that last time. There you go. And the artwork here is very reminiscent of you're gonna be hearing that word a lot, reminiscent. So get used to it. Of Darwin Cook and Bruce Timm. Now this book is about, and actually I like it, and I think it really complements this kind of story. And like with the Humans, it said it was very pulpy kind of comic, and it also takes place in it said it was also very reminiscent of like 70s comics too, even though they say that it takes place in 1987. So I believe that was what they said about this book. I believe I could be wrong, but I know they said it was pulp. And so Violent Love is basically your answer to Image Comics' answer to Bonnie and Clyde, and also I think that's it actually. And it's also based off a true story. Ironically enough, they said that in Volume 1. So it's kind of, if you don't know what Bonnie and Clyde is, it's bank robbers who fall in love. And for Bonnie and Clyde, and I think they're married too. It's a married couple that decided to rob banks. But I think it's more they're bank robbers first, like they're partners, and then they become lovers or something like that, or actual partners. So Violent Love Volume 1, Stay Dangerous, collects 1 through 5 of Violent Love by Frank J. Barbiere with artwork done by Victor Santos. Then we have Volume 2, Hearts on Fire, collecting 6 through 10. Now, ironically enough, along with Gravediggers Union Volume 2 and also Glitterbomb Volume 2, this is out of stock. And I know I find that it was Volume 2 also. And technically Volume 1 of Glitterbomb is out of stock on Amazon, but it's that out of stock where you can order it, you're gonna get it between this date and that date, and it's like a month or two from now. So, and actually for Gravediggers Union, I had checked like a week after, and it was like out of stock. So either someone put in a request, like they ordered it, and then they can only do one person at a time, or it was actually out of stock. And they thought they had one more. But I want to say that what happens when it does that, like between this date and that date, is they have the last copy, but they're trying to find it. They're trying to find it, or they need to what was the other thing I said? I forget. Honestly, it was kind of interesting, right? Like it's a pretty interesting theory on it. There's a road trip. They're trying to find the last copy, or they put you on a list, and say if Chris is before you, Chris gets his, then you get yours, and then Michael gets his, Devin gets his, Serena gets hers. It's kind of like a whole list. I keep saying the same thing, but it's like that. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And I said it pretty well. I felt the need to reiterate what I already said. Like you guys are all deaf or something, or like I'm a teacher and I'm repeating myself so it makes you guys all heard me, so you can't say, I didn't hear what you said, Mr. Sandstrom. Alright, so 5 Ghosts, Volume 1, The Haunting of Fabian Gray, also written by Frank J. Barbiere. Side note, he is a former English teacher. I was looking him up on his Image Comics website to make sure I had everything by him, even though it's not the best way to look, even though it's not the best website to look it up, because sometimes I don't have everything the guy has done. But it was very interesting to hear that, and to find it out. And it's, I wonder if one of his students have read his book because of the fact that, oh, I had him for English, let's say it's 7th grade. For English class, 7th grade, I remember him. He was a good teacher. Let's see how he writes comics now? Cool. You know, that's how a lot of the sales are thanks to, or due to. So, Chris Moneyham does the artwork this time for Five Ghosts. Now, like with Gravediggers Union, this is very reminiscent of Mike Mignola's. And not just the artwork, but also the page layout, too. And panel layout, and honestly, like, everything. Like, every kind of layout, every kind of layout. Which way? Every which way. Now, Five Ghosts, it was about a guy, and then he gets knocked out, and he takes turns into takes like the identity of these classic literature characters like Robin Hood, Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, and there's 2 others. I cannot tell who it was. Now they showed here too. Why not think they showed it there? Weird. Wait a second. What? Because yes. Yeah, here, there you go. So these are the 5. There's 3 here and 2 here. So you guys in the comments can tell me who the hell all those are. I know for a fact 3 of them is Robin Hood, Sherlock Holmes, and Dracula. But I don't know the other 2. I almost want to say Gandalf for that one, but that's not Gandalf. Bald Gandalf. There you go. Here's the staff mainly. He seems like he's a magic kind of guy. So maybe even whoever Gandalf is inspired by. So Five Ghosts, Volume 2, Lost Coastlines, collecting 6 through 12 of Five Ghosts. I did go over the artwork. I think so far I've been good about that. See, this is why I do several cuts. It's because there's something I have to mention. I'm like, you know what? I have time. Let's do it. So it's already like 2 o'clock, so I gotta get going. Five Ghosts, Volume 3. Monsters and Men. You know what was so funny? I saw my iPad shut because I hit the, and I was like, wait, why is it? I thought I got a text or something, so I'm kind of like on edge a bit there for a second there, and I was like, what if I'm? Oh, what was that? Was it song? And I was like, no, I think I get a text, and I was, why did I think that? I just turned on the iPad, and it was kind of like I knew I had done, so I forgot about it. No, it's just I completely. What do you even call that when you remembered something but you also forgot it? It was kind of in the middle of anything. But anyways, Five Ghosts Volume 3, Monsters and Men, collecting 13 to 17, and the Five Ghost Special. Next up, we have Renato Jones, the 1%, Volume 1, collecting Season 1, essentially Season 1, not Volume 1 technically, collecting 1 through 5 of this series. Now, the Renato Jones, I'm going to show you if you can see this. See? One of those kind of covers. I only noticed that after the fact. I thought, I knew the cover felt a little bit differently, but I thought it was just, just the way they had just the way that cover was. It wasn't like they had anything on the cover. No, it was just the way the cover was. But no, they had, a kind of thing. And then it's on the back, too. Is it the same on the back? I think it's the same on the back. I think it's the same for each volume. But anyways, so I did that. Oh, drawn, everything done by Kyle Andrews. If that name sounds familiar, he did Spider-Man Reign and most recently Amazing Fantasy. He also had an Iron Fist run too, but the ones I've read at least are Spider-Man Reign and Amazing Fantasy. Next up is Renato Jones Season 2 Freelancer, collecting Freelancer 1 through 5. Now, what's Renato Jones about? Well, it's basically the way I was, it's Punisher, but he goes after Wall Street guys. That's the way it was explained to me. I was looking up reviews on this book. Yeah, the Punisher, but instead of going after, crooks and, drug dealers, he goes after Wall Street guys. And it seems to be just Wall Street guys, too. So, take with that what you will. Then we have God Complex Dogma Volume 1 by Paul Jenkins, and who does the artwork? Sorry, I just thought I keep thinking I forgot to mention something. I keep thinking I forgot to mention something. I'm trying to think to myself, did I? But so far, knock on wood, I hope I didn't, because I'm doing good so far. So it's creator and design by Brian Lee. Artist is Henry Posticeta. Here's his actual name. But it's written by Paul Jenkins. Now this one, I actually don't really know what it's about. It's the only one I don't know a whole lot about, so let's read it back. It's Roman Fall. Oh, it's IGN review. And I already know what I forgot to mention. I was gonna go over who gave it praise. I don't know what this book is about. I mainly just got it because of Paul Jenkins, and it looked pretty interesting. It's always that book I wanted to get, because Paul Jenkins, I thought at first, does not do a whole lot for Image Comics, though. He's done a lot, though. Just weren't, again, they weren't shown, nice, nowhere can you tell what this book is about. It's a sci-fi book, that, at the very least. So far, I'm just going to do a so far thing. The only people who have given, so, David Aja and Gabriel Hernandez, I don't recognize him. David Aja has given praise to Violent Love. Ed Piscor and Tom Scioli gave praise to The Humans. I'm just going to say in general. I'm not going to say, volume 2. That doesn't make any sense. That's it so far. Most of them have just been IGNs and, all those kinds of websites where you can't tell who actually said it because they just say they're the website. It's definitely weird. Like, then who said it? Like, what if you actually know these people? Frank Schmank. Let's say Frank Schmank is a IGN guy, and he says that The Humans is very good. He says he really liked that book, and you're like, oh, Frank Schmank also really liked Undiscovered Country. So based off that, I'm gonna buy this book. But then you just see IGN in general. IGN is a lot of people in IGN. It's not just one person. It's not a person named IGN or one person runs IGN. No, it's several people. Do they all collectively say that? I don't think so. It's a bit of a stretch there. Although technically that could be true if you really think about it, and that shouldn't take too much to think about. Anyways, next up we have Redlands Volume 1. Sisters by Blood by Jordi Belair and Vanessa Del Rey does the artwork, and Clayton Cowles does the lettering. Scott Snyder gave this praise. Warren Ellis is the main guy. I was like, wow. Tom King. That's it. There's 3 of them. Again, like Nylon Magazine. So, this collects Redlands 1 through 6. I think it's the only book that Jordi Belair has written for Image Comics, which is like more well known for being an artist. That sounds so weird. Redlands Volume 2, Water on the Fire, collecting 7 through 12 of Redlands. And again, this was one of those things where Ming Doyle. That sounds familiar too. He gave praise to this book. Robbie Thompson was the other one. Robbie Thompson. It's short here. So, to reiterate, Ming Doyle, Scott Snyder, Robbie Thompson, and Warren Ellis, and Tom King all gave blurbs to this book. I don't know exactly. It could be the artwork, but the book itself. In Gen High Rail. Next up, we have The Empty Zone. Again, it's all done by again, like with not the Humans. Again, like with Renato Jones, it's all done by one guy, and then here it's all done by Jason Sean Alexander, who did the artwork for Philadelphia and Anita Hollow's Nightmare blog. And I know I'm just going by Image Comics, but here's the artwork. But that's what I know him for. Just, ironically enough, it seems to be Image Comics. And then, so The Empty Zone Volume 1, Conversations with the Dead, written by Jason Sean Alexander, collecting 1 through 5 of a series by Jason Sean Alexander. Sci-fi horror comic. Again. Brian K. Vaughan. Mike Mignola. That was the huge one. I was like, oh my god, that's basically the whole reason why I got this. And I really like Jason Sean Alexander's, Empty Zone. I've always been kind of interested when an artist becomes an author. Yeah, and I'm right with 1 through 5. I just want to double check to make sure. So 1 through 5, Volume 1, and Volume 2, Industrial Smile, collecting 6 through 10 of The Empty Zone, written and drawn by Jason Sean Alexander. Last 3. My god. only 34 minutes. The whole point of me doing another cut was that I wanted to really make it as longer than 34 minutes. When the last video, my last comic haul, I went over less books, was only 7 minutes less than this. It's shorter. Next up is Invisible Republic by Gabriel Hardman and Corinne Benchko, with artwork done by Jordan Boy and I believe Gabriel Hardman, or Jordan Boy just do the colors. So art is done by Gabriel Hardman. I'll go over the artwork part again. Another sci-fi book. This was one that I was going to get for my birthday, and it was actually in the second set too. That's my only exception to breaking that rule of mixing set A and set B, or because I didn't want to, because I gotten books from each set actually, because some of them I was able to get because they were cheap, and I was like, the hell with it. One was only $10, so I was like, you know what, I'm getting that right now. So Invisible Republic, I've since regretted doing that because I did that for Bonehead by Brian Edward Hill, and it does not look like I'm gonna get anything more than that for right now, for now at least. Hell, I might just do that instead of what I have for other books, but. One of those things is set A is a little bit of everything. Set B, as you know, is mainly sci-fi, and then set three is a little bit more, but then they have like additional sets like set 3 and set 4, kind of like, but it's mainly just all one author for everything but set A. Also, so Invisible Republic Volume 1 collects 1 through 5 of Invisible Republic. Also, it's political sci-fi. It's like a reporter in the sci-fi world, and she's like finds a book, a mysterious book, and I think she's just trying to find who like wrote it, or whatever, or like I think it tells the coming apocalypse, I believe. I could be completely wrong. Let's look up right now. So, a secret journal, a disgraced reporter, a fallen regime, a woman erased from history. There we go. So 1 through 5 there for Volume 1. Volume 2 collects 6 through 10, and then Volume 3 collects 11 to 15. Now, I'm going to do a speed round now, where I kind of go over maybe anything I forgot to mention, why I got the book, all that kind of stuff. So, I think I've done that. It's so weird how it only took me 34 minutes to do. So I'll still do a speed round. So Undiscovered Country Volume 4, well, it's Volume 4 of a series I already had, so might as well do that. And I like the series, the authors, everything was good. I really like Jim Zub, so it's like the hell with I'm gonna get Glitterbomb. Also, it's just sounded like an interesting kind of story, and I'm in the same mindset as Jim Zub probably is regarding Hollywood. I just despise Hollywood and everything it stands for. And it's funny, one of the reviewers was talking about how this person probably went to LA once and hated it, and I'm from LA and I actually like LA, and it's like, do you like LA now? Do you? Have you moved since then? It's pretty old. It's an older book. Let's see when it came out. I'm just gonna go by when Volume 1 came out, because I didn't look up the reviews for Volume 2. Because the last 2017, so a while ago. And the reason for why that is because a long time ago, I looked up Rat Queens specifically. As it goes along, it gets worse and worse and worse. And I was like, this book gets worse? How could that be? And the first time I read it, another good example of me going back and reading a book again is Rat Queens. The first time I read Rat Queens, I absolutely hated it. The second time I read it, I absolutely loved it. And no in between at all, actually. And so it got worse as it went along at that point. And I looked up the first. It was one got like a 3 out of 5, and I was like, damn, got that bad? It was actually 2.8. And one of the reviews completely spoiled what happened. It was last volume, so it's not technically a spoiler. So it's like, damn. So that's why I only do Volume 1. No matter how bad a series gets, I will only look up Volume 1. Maybe briefly, I'll look up Volume 8 of a series or whatever, but. It's I don't like doing more than that. And the majority of a series got good reviews, and will get the entire series. So it's not one of those things, right? And vice versa. If it starts out bad and gets better, I'll still get the entire series, because I'm like, well, if I did that before, let's do it again. So the Gravediggers Union is next. The reason why is I should not go over I did not go over the Grave Team. So Wes Craig and Toby Cypress. I mainly just wanted to get the last of Wes Craig's written work for Image Comics as Volume 2. The humans. I really enjoyed that Planet of the Apes omnibus, and I kind of do like, if it's done right, and it was an author I didn't know too much about. I got really good reviews too on Goodreads also, so I was like, you know what, why not get it? And everything about this book was. There was nothing about this book that not scared me. There's nothing about this book that I was kind of like skeptical to get about it, to get it. And again, so another thing I want to mention is, except for, obviously, for Undiscovered Country, and also for Gravediggers Union, all the volume 1s were $10. And again, 2-volume series for all these, except for Gravediggers, and 2-volume series for all these guys, except for Five Ghosts and Invisible Republic. So yes, Image Comics can do a volume 1 for $10, even if it's a 2-volume series. And only one of these, I think, got canceled. I think all these were like, the book was done, not the sales. So the book was done because the author wanted to be done, not because the sales were bad. So yeah, I'm really enjoying playing the Apes omnibus so far, so this was right up my alley already. And guys who give it praise were, again, Ed Piscor and Tom Scioli. I think I've done pretty good. I just wanted to go, like, in order, so you guys weren't confused. Like, wait, what book are we on now? Wait, what? Violent Love. Reason why I got this is I love crime books. Crime comics is my favorite next to fantasy. It may even surpass fantasy, pretty much does. But in general, but like I think I've read more fantasy comics I've enjoyed than crime comics, because there's more crime comics that I'm like, that was alright. But for fantasy, I think for the most part I've liked them. Although I really had to think about that. And of course I just have more fantasy comics than crime comics thanks to Christmas time. But yeah, I like crime comics, sci-fi too. This isn't sci-fi, but the next one technically is. It should be. And so I've also, I own the Bonnie and Clyde movies, so I will be trying to watch soon, but I have too many movies to watch. Actually, I have only one left. I have a lot of books to read, too, so I can't do that soon, yes, there we go. Love. And I decided to give myself the day off today, because, again, I gotta finish up the last movie, so I'm not gonna have all day to read anyway, so why not film? Five Ghosts, the premise to it already sounded interesting to me, and it was one of those books where I was gonna get it for Christmas time. I was gonna get it around Christmas time, and then after that, I completely forgot about this book, and then I remembered the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, let's get that, along with Violent Love, because and I'm glad I didn't get this book back when I wanted to get it, because I would have completely forgot. I didn't know that he had written more than Five Ghosts, Frank J. Barbier. And they did actually have 2 out of 3 of this series at my local library. And they actually, if I looked up more specifically, they had it at Gmilk's 2 out of 3. But they did not have Violent Love, and they did not have the entire series. So even then, I was like, no. I was gonna, if Five Ghosts was the only thing that he had done, I would have just gotten the first 2 volumes of the series at my local library, then got volume 3, and then read volume 3 for free elsewhere. So I'm gonna have to do that for Shudder and Green Arrow, because Green Arrow, they're missing 1 volume. It's weird. Not missing it. They're just 3-volume series. Trying to show off that. So 18 issues, I would say, technically, because yeah, you include special. So why did I get Renato Jones? Oh, and so no one. So the only one for so far that we are at is, yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, Jay Farbear, who wrote Copperhead, gave a blurb to Five Ghosts. And no, not Mark Millar, Mark Miller. It still kind of annoys me. It's like, change your name, buddy. David Aja, and then David Aja, who did Hawkeye, and then Gabriel Hernandez Walta, who I don't recognize. So they say he did the Vision and the Magneto, so I must be an artist. Both those guys gave blurbs to Violent Love. So why did I get Renato Jones? I really like Carrie Kyle Andrews' writing. I loved Amazing Fantasy. And I used to really like Spider-Man Reign. I read it again recently. I wasn't too in love with it. I actually hated it a little bit more. But not hated it. Like, it was just good. In comparison to how much I loved it, I actually kind of hated it. If you compare it 2 times I've read it, to in comparison. And and Indians. I'll probably try and do that for a third time. Spider-Man Reign, because it's still free on Prime. So it's like, yeah, when I get it, and I also like those kinds of Punisher kind of books. Punisher is one of my favorite Marvel comics. Super anti-heroes. So I always kind of like that, and it's a crime comic. It's a crime comic. So why not? So that was. Oh, and then who gave blurbs? Looks like just IGN people. Again, it's just websites, not people. Websites. That's what I meant to say. Websites. I got this because Paul Jenkins and technically like a 5 Ghost. I wasn't gonna get it for my birthday, for Christmas specifically. I was gonna get it, actually my birthday too. But I always seen it. I like Paul Jenkins' writing. It's like I was always like, oh, you do something for Image Comics, and again, Image Comics only has this side along with Spawn and Witchblade, but I don't include Spawn and Witchblade. I'm waiting until the next one, until the complete collections come out. And that's how I'm getting Witchblade. So those are like, okay, whatever. But then he's done like a superhero book, and then there was a bunch of other books he'd done. But again, it's for Image Comics. But Image Comics, the official website, did not cite that. It was really weird. I don't know why that was. Now, I know this looks kind of unprofessional, doing this 3,000 times, and I'm doing like, oh, this time I talk about this, and this time I talk about that. I kind of like doing it this way because I know there are things I forgot to mention, but I'm also choosing to do it twice, just in case, you know. Kind of reiterating too, and actually 3 times now, because the first time I did it quickly, just showing on the book. Just telling you what the book was. Want to get Redlands? I'm always very interested in these artists turned authors, and I did the same thing for Wes Craig, so I was like, the hell with it here. But I did have this entire series at my local library. Again, it's when I say local library, I more or less mean, unless I say local library, what I mean by local library is the Interloans and G-Milks, and they get it from the other libraries, but it's I go to the library. So pick up the book, so it's my local library. But at that point, I was like, well, it's a issue one, volume 1's $10, volume 2 is $15. I had the money to afford it, and I was like, why not? Good card, yada yada yada. Okay, so here it's a bunch of people: Scott Snyder, Tom King, Warren Ellis, Robbie Thompson, and then here it was Ming Doyle, who that sounds so familiar. What did he do? Is he a writer, artist? None of the above. No, it was like one of the artwork. Whatever you call a speed round. Empty Zone, again, Jason Sean Alexander. I like his artwork, and it was one of those the only ones I didn't have by his, and I was looking up to cheat because I had some extra money. I was doing Image Comics Volume 1s for $10, and the Image Comics they don't have them all, obviously. They have like a little itty bitty section on the fandom site. There's the official site, it's a fandom site of whatever, how many, just random 13 random Image Comics Volume 1s for $10. So yeah, that's why I got Empty Zone. And it's a horror comic too. I like horror comics. I like horror movies, and it's right up my alley. And finally, Invisible Republic. Along with 5 Ghosts, I was thinking this for Christmas. But I did not have enough money, even though I could have gotten some books used like new. But I chose to pay the exorbitant fee of getting it from Amazon, which is full price. So, it wasn't smart. And I don't know why I did that. Because, did I go over who it was written by? No, I'm not. Oh, who gave it blurbs? So none here, I don't think. Nope. Just again, this website's not people. And I'll check for Empty Zone. Oh, Brian K. Vaughan. Oh yeah, Brian K. Vaughan and Mike Mignola said gave blurbs to Empty Zone, which is that's it. Very few books I have did Mike Mignola give blurbs to, from Image Comics at least. So as I was saying about industrial publishing, about Invisible Republic. I completely forget. I can't even think what I was talking about. It's about Christmas. I got it for Christmas. I couldn't get it because it was third-party seller. And then, so it was one of those things where like, I was already getting some from third-party sellers, so why didn't I just do them all? That were used like new from the same third-party seller I was getting these books from. Like, either way, I guess I was thinking of, like, well, what these people, like, what was worse condition here, and it's only one book, and technically, that didn't happen for Coyotes Volume 2, and technically Volume 1, but Volume 2 has, like, the binding is coming loose. You know, it's not coming loose, it is loose, but not, like, substantially. And it's easy to fix too if I want to fix it, but I'm not gonna fix it. It's too skinny of a book too. But that, as they say, is that 15 minutes I think is long enough. That's how long the other book was. That's how long the other cut was. So you know what? I'm gonna do a little like outro, like saying what's coming next. So the next comic haul will more than likely be my birthday haul. Now, it will not be on my birthday if I choose to go with my cousin camping, when I film, when I do streams with. Because they're going up only 3 times going camping this summer. I've only once gone up with them camping. That was when we were all going up. I want to go myself. Ever since when camping with them a year ago, decided to bunk with them instead of with my family. I want to go again. And they're only going thrice this year. And my cousin's going off to college, so it's kind of like get your licks in when you can. I can't go Father's Day. They're going 3 times, and one's Father's Day. And I'm like, nope. And once in August, I'm like, well, while I will probably go up then, yes, might as well go up a second time. And weird, another reason why that is, and it's really weird, I'm not even seeing everyone for my birthday, so it's kind of like, why bother? And it's kind of one of those. It's kind of like I'm the kind of guy who wants everything that he's getting at once. And if I don't, if I don't, that's fine. You know, I don't mind because again, if I can get books from my parents, either way, a bunch of books, either way. So why does that matter? But that, as I say, is that 22 books this time around. That's a good amount of books. And none of them, the only one I was kind of upset with was Paul Jenkins, because I want to say for most of these, actually Gabriel, Karina Benchko and Gabriel Hart the artwork for a book called Heathen Town. Again, say it with me now, it's not cited on the Image Comics site. And what's really weird is you go to Karina Benchko's like About Me page on Image Comics, and it cites Heathen Town. I don't get it. I've been trying to rack my brain about that, why they don't cite everything the guy has done. It's not that it's too much. It's not that it's an older book. They have older books. A good example is The Sword by, and Spawn 2. By, that Sword series by that Luna guy, that Jonathan Luna, and Joshua Luna. As an older book, they have it cited. And, is it because it's a newer book? No, they have newer books too. They have solicitations for next month and the following months and all those months. So, it's like there's... And it's the official site too. It's not a fan site. At least I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's not. No, it can't be. Not they have future solicitations. So for the most part, it was like, this is all that series. And I think what I should do from now on is go by, this is the entire series I have by this guy. Not all the books that I have by this guy from Image Comics specifically. No, the entire series. Because I have, like, a good amount of Joshua Williamson books. I have all 10 volumes of Birthright, all 7 volumes of Nailbiter. But when I look at my collection and I come across those books, I'm like, damn, I don't have everything that Joshua Williamson has done for Image Comics, specifically. It's just... And I'm not going to ever get over that stigma, because a lot of books I'm getting old. And that's probably why I'm going to go with Set B. Because Set B is Hickman books. Not everything is done for Image Comics, but a good amount. And also, it's all... I like Hickman. And a lot of the series I've started, but never got to finish my local library. One of them is East to West. Obviously, that's an Image comic he did. They didn't have all 10 volumes of that series. And I'm like, you know what, let's get everything by Hickman. And then I'm just like... I want to do that. I won't feel like it's complete if I just get East of West, and then the rest they have I'm at my local library in loans, but it's one of those things I'm like, I don't mind getting that, the rest of what he's done. And of course, there's not every, so some series he has done, but it's out of print. I have to get it digitally. But I might also get the recommender run. That's the taking up a lot of shelf space. That's my recommender books. So I'll get like more recommended books. I don't know. I said run from Image Comics, but it's just like there's a lot of books that I want, and I might just get the 50 set. I might just get the first set books. I accidentally said how many books it was. Whoopsies. You guys didn't hear what I said. No, you didn't hear what I said. It's more than 50 though. That's the thing. It's 50. That's it. I'm gonna say too much because I don't like saying how much it was. Then if when I'm watching back this, I don't know. It's weird. Either way, I'm gonna be. I think I should get set A. You know what? Actually, if I get set A, because I was gonna do a thing with like, oh, guess how many books. Like, I'm not gonna tell you how many books it is, and then the only way you'd know is either by counting or by watching this video. I allude to it, and none of these sets are books that are bad. Like none of them are like, I didn't like that book, I hated that book, let me get next. No, they're all books I like, and and then the other thing about set A is that a lot of them are third-party sellers. They're all gonna come from at different dates. You know, one of them is economy shipping, which apparently is the worst kind of shipping you can get, and it's still free shipping, but you know, and I'll have to pay for shipping for a lot of them, and I'm like, do I really want to do that? And yeah, it's cheaper books, and you know, it's still the same price amount. No matter what, it's the same price. And it doesn't have anything to do with pricing. Like, they're all around the same price. Like, some are like third. Some of them are like $3 cheaper, but it's $3, you know? So, very conflicted of what I want to get for my birthday. But either way, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to tell myself to be happy for once. You know, not be like, oh, I didn't get this book. Well, too bad. It happened last time. And the other thing about set A is that it matches a lot of the books that I've been getting recently. Kind of. If I really get down and dirty to it, like, no, that's not right. That's not even close to being right. And who cares? Even if that, let's get something new. You know, with the Hickman books, I say it's new because it's different kind of book because it's all sci-fi. And I have a lot of I get a lot of sci-fi, but it's not like I have like this many sci-fi. No, I don't know. It's like there's so many like different. It's kind of like a pros and cons kind of thing. Like, on pros, oh, I get to my all my Hickman books. Cons, less books. Pros, the all books by authors I like. Cons, so is everything else. The only thing about set A is that there is books by an author I'm kind of unfamiliar with, but not too much. I read a book by him, so, and that's one of the books I'm getting. So, I don't know. I think what I should do is I should take out all the ones that are very good and then replace them with like a new one and see how much more expensive it is. It's gonna be a lot. And some of them weren't available. Some of them were only available very good, used very good. So I might as well do the rest of that. Then you know, and highlighting like even then, I don't want writing on my book. Even the highlighting, I'm like annoyed about that. So, and I think what I should do is stick to my guns. Is because a lot of the books have been going out of stock. Because a lot of them are one less in stock. So if one more goes out of stock, I'm gonna say no. Nuh-uh, not getting any more. So what I'm going to do right now, because there's other thing I wanted to do, if I just remember to do that, and it'll make this video an hour long, is we're going to look up Gravediggers Union. Why does my laptop do this? It's on, it shows it's on, but I gotta close it, to wait till it shuts itself off. It's like a deep sleep, almost. It's a perfect way to just, I just said that by accident, but it's honestly the best way to explain that. It's like a deep sleep. And you have to wake it up like a different kind of way. Because when someone's in deep sleep, it's hard to wake them up. So it's hard to wake this laptop up. You have to wait even longer and wake them up for even longer. It sounded good until I had to needlessly explain it. I don't know why I did that either. I think a lot of it is like not necessarily. It's like I'm talking down. No, I'm not talking. I feel like I'm talking down to you guys. No, it's not that. It's just I feel like you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and I feel like I need to explain, and you guys probably know exactly what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to say, but. Alright, so. Checking back here. This should not run out of storage, but it might. It could always. Not might. It could always do that. You never know. The Gravediggers. Of course, it's all together. I thought I did a space, but apparently not. Volume 2. Nope, this one seems like it's gonna be Available to ship in 1 to 2 days. 1 to 2 days. Great. So that was all of like a week. 2 weeks, then it's back in stock. But so that's whatever, that's cool. I would not have wanted to wait 1 to 2 days for it to ship, because it says it's coming in fastest delivery May 3rd to the 5th. And knowing me, it'd be May 6th. Because it would be look like it's coming in on May 5th, but it'd be like, nope, delayed. Screw you, or Amazon, because that happened twice this time. And one of the times, so both times, one time it happened, and it was just delayed like normally, but twice again, it was because it's from USPS and UPS respectively. They're saying it's coming a day after, and it would change. It changed itself. It wasn't like it says now expected this day. No, it just like changed, like almost like it never was that before. It's never arriving tomorrow. Now it's arriving Friday. No, it's never it's never tomorrow. Now it's Friday. Just, if you had never checked it, you wouldn't have been if you had checked, you've been none the wiser. But with delayed, it says it actually sends you an email. It's been delayed, but not with they now expected on this date. I know it's very confusing if you don't do Amazon, but basically it's just two differences, and I saw two differences this month. So what's the other one? It was not Redneck. Well, it wasn't Redneck. Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew what Redlands was about. Redlands here. I hate it. Like, every cut, no matter what, I feel like it's a terrible cut. So Redlands is rednecks, and horror comics are witches going through rednecks. If you stuck around until now, you know what it's about. You know what? From now on, I'm going to say look it up. You know what? I'm going to be pessimistic about it. If you might know what the book is about, look it up. Because I can give you a quick plot synopsis, but if you want to know about one plot synopsis, well, look it up. Some of these books, I do go in blind. I like the author. The cover looks good. It got good reviews on Goodreads. It's one of those things. Or just in comic book roundup too. Alright, so it wasn't Redlands. It was what was it? Damn it. I'll see. Oh, Violent Love was one. Violent Love. There was three actually. No, all volume. The next two were volume 2s. Not Jetpack Comics. And yes, you can still get them from third-party sellers, but if you want them from Amazon themselves, which I suggest you do, for the most part. Why pay more online? It's good. Yep, still temporarily out of stock for Violent Love Volume 2. And then we have... Yeah, I can look. You guys may have screened it to me right now. There's the one! How did you forget? And... Oh, Glitterbomb. Yeah, I should have known that. Glitterbomb. Whenever I hear that, whenever I see that book, whenever I think about that book, I always sing that song to myself, Cherry Bomb to myself. Get it? Because it sounds similar? Oh, come on. Why did they do that? Sometimes my touchscreen will be like, you touched this. I'm like, no, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Like, for 2 seconds you did. It's like, that counts? Yep, it does. Screw you. And temporarily I was stopped for that one, too. That's it. And Volume 1, I think it was still... I'll try Volume 1. Volume 1 was a weird one. So this is what I mean... I can go to show you. I know it's the same. I'm looking it up. Because I feel I need to. Alright. View card. I won't waste time, apparently. Yeah, so... Not waste time. Because you guys... I told you guys that... Yeah, fast delivery, May 25th to June 24th. Usually ships in 1 to 2 months. Because they have that little left in stock. And free delivery, June 1st, 26th. But that's, if you're not doing Prime. If you're ordering from Amazon and you don't have Prime, you're doing it wrong.